right? Doing it live. So, doing the whole thing. We're going to probably power through it. Probably only going to be like 15 minutes. I'm going to see if I can cut this one down. So, we have Monfils, another Frenchman, ranked number 8 against Andre Bublik. I like Monfils. He's fun to watch. Should be an easy match for him. Gomez, another qualifier against Sonego. I think Sonego has the edge, but I think it could be interesting because they're both pretty low-ranked players, and Gomez is coming off the qualifying tournament where he did well, so I think there's a chance he wins, but my guess is on Sonego. Then the Australian Thompson's playing Albert. Should be easy for Thompson. Pretty sizable rank advantage for him. Another qualifier, Machak, is playing Taylor Fritz in the first round. Ooh, poor Machak. Taylor Fritz has been doing really well. He's ranked 27. I think Taylor Fritz is going to take that pretty easily. Then you got Borna Coric against Nick Gombos. No, I don't think it's Nick Gombos. Something Gombos. And anyway, Coric ranked 24. Did really a lot better than I was expecting him to do at the U.S. Open. And while his game is very erratic, like I've said, I think he's got a really solid chance of doing at least well for the first couple rounds. I think I have him actually going for 3. I have him going pretty far. Then we have Radionov against Shardy. Shardy is a Frenchman against Radionov, the qualifier. I think Shardy's got a pretty easy advantage there. Moutet is playing Giustino, another qualifier. Moutet was the U.S. Open player who I had out the first round. I think he went 3 rounds, and he was a very quick back of the court player, like a Minaur, who would just Minaur is a back to front. He would cover the whole court, whereas Moutet was very good at covering the side to sides and back of the court well, which is going to pay off on the clay because you have to play deep and you have to play running game. So I think Moutet is going to do pretty well. His next round against the Shardy Radionov, the Kecmanovic Schwartzman is going to be tough, just because Diego Schwartzman is an Argentinian player, really well suited for clay because of his game style, very heavy spin, very well placed, and he's a runner. He's got solid cardio. So I have Diego Schwartzman beating Kecmanovic in the first round, and then Moutet against Diego Schwartzman is going to be a really fun match to watch, given they both win, of course. Then you have, this is one of the weirdest first round matches ever. Andy Murray against Stan Wawrinka. Used to be like a quarterfinal match. Now you got a day 1. But everyone's talking about how this is going to be such a crazy match. I mean, yeah, Stan's on the down slope of his career, but he's still ranked, 16th? Pretty high, respectable rank. Then there's Murray, who's coming back still from that hip surgery. If you saw him at the U.S. Open, he was even more duck walk than usual. Like, he was very conservative with how he moved. He wasn't running like the old Andy Murray ran. I know he's old and coming off surgery, but he has to bring that day 1. He's got to bring it against Stan Wawrinka, and I don't think he will. So I have Stan taking it. I think he'll take it pretty easy. But again, weird first round match. It's going to be interesting. Koepfer, Koepfer, I think it's Koepfer, against Hoang, a wild card. Koepfer should take it pretty quickly. Then we have 2 wild cards, both French too. This is going to be an interesting one. Gaston, ranked 238. Yeah, that's a 3. And then Janvier, it's French, so there's inconsistency with how you say the J. I think it's Janvier. I don't know. Only with names, though. I'm pretty sure French is pretty good with the je. So it should be Janvier, but we'll see. Alright, anyway. I have Gaston taking it, even though he is the lower-ranked player. That's just who I am. I forget why. I looked it up. Did my research. You know how I do research. So I did my research like 5-8 hours ago and didn't write any of it down. So I wrote down that one was ranked 238, Gaston, and one was Janvier, ranked 201. And I picked the lower ranked without writing down a solid why or remembering it. I'm pretty sure he's younger, and that's it. He just has less experience, so it's a 200 ranked player kind of on the decline rather than a young 200 ranked player on the up. That's my best guess, but I didn't write it down, so we'll find out tomorrow, I guess, or today, because it's now. All right, then you have Nishikori against Auger-Aliassime. I think FAA's got that wrapped up. He's ranked 21 going into this. Good for him. He's, a young Canadian player. I think he'll do pretty well. He's got a tough road ahead of him, though. Definitely got a tough road. Next match, Casper Ruud against Sugita. Casper Ruud should take it. He's the ranked player in that situation, but Sugita, again, one of those players that if you give him space on a clay court, he can place the ball pretty well, and I'm pretty sure he's the... No, that's Nishikori. Sorry. He should be... Yeah, He should be... It should be a tough first match for Ruud, but I think Ruud should take it pretty easily. And then he gets the winner of Tommy Paul and something Duckworth. I feel like it's a P. But Duckworth, the Australian. Duckworth is the higher ranked player and more experienced singles player. But I like Tommy Paul. I said it last time. I watched him in the World Team Tennis while there was the whole COVID lockdown. There weren't any big titles going on. Tommy Paul did pretty well in the World Team Tennis, so it was fun to watch. I want him to beat Duckworth, but I'm pretty sure Duckworth should take him in like a 4 or 5 set match. So if Paul can keep it short, he'll win, but Duckworth should take that. Now here we go, Riley Opelka and Jack Sock. I said it before, I like both these players, and Riley Opelka does have the advantage. He has the rank advantage. He's been playing singles a lot more recently. In the past, obviously, Jack Sock is the more experienced singles player. And Opelka's a hard game to play. He's the tall, moving player I was talking about earlier. But Jack Sock, if he can bring his forehand in a singles game, I know he's focused a lot on doubles in the past few years, but if he can bring his old singles game, keep that big Western forehand up, and just overpower Opelka, or not even overpower, that's not the right word, counter power Opelka, then he should be fine. Sock is a qualifier, so he, again, low ranks. He doesn't have the edge, but I think that Sock's game is better suited for the clay, so I have Sock over Opelka there. Then Dominic Thiem against Marin Cilic, another crazy first-round match. Marin Cilic just went, I think, 3 rounds at the U.S. Open, 3-4 rounds, and did not so hot at the Italian Open, I don't think. I think he only made it 2 rounds. So, very strange. Tough match for Cilic. Thiem shouldn't have too much of an issue. Again, he's got the big spin, big power, big serve and location. So I don't see Thiem having too much of an issue. The only thing I'm worried about is it's Marin Cilic. If he can bring his big game, I've talked about it before, he can be really intimidating on the court. He can just control the point, control his whole service game. And if Thiem's able to edge his way in early, it probably shakes the whole game of Cilic. But if Cilic can keep his power, his control over Thiem, it depends how long he gives it up. But I think Cilic has a shot to win, but Thiem definitely has the advantage. I have Thiem taking it, and then, God, poor Thiem. Thiem plays Cilic first round, then Opelka and Sock next round. Then his only light match after that would be the Casper Ruud, Sugita, Tommy Paul, Duckworth. He plays the winner of all those 4 over 2 matches. So that would be his easiest match in the whole tournament, because then he would face most likely Felix Auger-Aliassime, but potentially Stan Wawrinka, which is nuts. And then finally he would play either against Diego Schwartzman or Taylor Fritz or Gael Monfils before going into a quarter. Or, sorry, that would be the quarterfinal before going into a semifinal. Like, he gets one easy match out of his first 4 before hitting a semi or quarter, whatever I said before. Sorry, you know what's going on. He has a very tough round, and even if his big major players get knocked out early, he still has so many names in his side of the draw that it's a really tough side for Diego Schwartzman. For Dominic Thiem, oh my god. But, well, and Diego Schwartzman, he's in there too. He's probably one of my favorite players too. It'll be interesting. But I have Thiem taking it over Cilic. So that was the first quarter of the second half. Now here's the final quarter of the final half. Here we go. Alexander Zverev is taking on Denis Novak. There's a Novak D and a D Novak. Very fun. But Denis Novak is not going to win. Alexander Zverev's going to take him out. You got MMoh, ranked 177, a qualifier for this, taking on Herbert, Pierre-Hugues Herbert. Pierre-Hugues Herbert is if I'm thinking of the right guy, it's either him or Humbert. It's so confusing why I get their names mixed up. They're so different. Hugo Humbert and Pierre-Hugues Humbert. No, Herbert. Fuck it. Whatever. Herbert is ranked 78, almost a full 100 100 people above the 177 MMoh. But I liked how MMoh played in his first round at the the U.S. Open. First round was the one I saw. Really solid game. Just big serve, big forehand. His backhand wasn't, if I'm thinking of the right guys, backhand wasn't anything to write home about, but definitely not a complainable shot. He is dependable. He could do enough with it to set up a forehand. You can't really ask for much more from backhand. I mean, you can ask for a backhand that hits winners and placement shots, but when you can hit that with your forehand and serve, it's one of those like, whatever. So anyway, I have MMoh optimistically taking it. Most likely Pierre-Hugues Herbert is going to take it. But I like MMoh. I want him to win it. Sorry for banging the table. I know that someone has said that that's not the best. But emphasis. Okay, Delbonis against Londero. Should be Delbonis. Again, they're both clay court players, but Delbonis, he's a lefty. I don't know what Londero is, but he's got a little more of a... I don't really know much about Londero, so I don't want to say he has more experience, but I'm pretty sure Delbonis has more experience on the clay, so I'm going to leave it at that. Either way, I have Delbonis taking it. Then you have Cecchinato, a qualifier against Alex de Minaur, ranked 25. De Minaur should take that match easily. I don't like saying walk away with it, because de Minaur always runs, so should be an easy match for Alex de Minaur. Benoit Paire taking on Quan. Paire should take it pretty easily. He's ranked 23. He's a Frenchman, and he plays pretty well on clay. He has one of my favorite... I don't think it's clay. I think it is hard court. But he has one of my favorite shots of all time. You can look it up. He is running in to take a drop shot that was hit against him. And as he's running in so quick, he's like maybe 2 feet off the net as he hits the ball. So he has to hit the ball underneath while he's sliding. So he's sliding into it. He hits it with so much backspin that the ball pops directly up off his racket. He has to watch his head. It barely misses his face, and then it just barely bounces, holy goodness, over the net, and then bounces back into the net because it had so much spin on it. Incredible shot, and then they show it in the side shot in slow-mo, and it's just so cool watching him hit the ball, and then the ball just goes... It's really funny. You should look it up. Benoit Paire. Look that up. Anyway, should take out Quan. Then you have a rematch. I had to look this up just to be safe. You have a rematch of the U.S. Open first round. Korea against Jung, a lucky loser. Jung is, I don't know the best way to say it, if he's representing himself or if he's non-representative of a nation, but he's independently representing himself. He's not playing for any nation. So, however it should be phrased, that's how I just phrased it. But I do have Korea, the Argentinian, I think, taking it. That's a fun sentence. Then you have Bonzi, a qualifier, taking on the Finnish Rusuvori. So many vowels. I have Rusuvori taking it in the long run of thing. Hey, Riku, how's it going? Hope you see this. That'd be nuts. It's a Finnish friend. So Rusuvori should take it, but again, qualifiers, they just have that coming off and qualifying on the clay that they're playing on, so it should be interesting. He's got a little more feel going into this exact tournament, but Rusuvori should take it with his rank advantage. And you have David Goffin taking on something Sinner. I forgot what his first name was. I think it's a J that it starts with. Goffin's ranked 11 and is just a giant killer on clay, so I think Goffin's going to make it pretty far. He'll make it through Paire, and then he's got Minaur, and that's going to be pretty tough once he gets the Minaur end of things. Minaur's Zverev. He's actually going to make it pretty far. Okay, sorry. Then you have Fabio Fognini. Oh, he's one of my favorite players to watch just because he's so into himself. He knows it. Like, he's not like a... I guess Nick Kyrgios knows it, but Nick Kyrgios goes out of his way sometimes to show it, whereas Fabio Fognini he just does him. He's just like, all right, if I'm gonna get mad, I'm gonna get mad at myself for 2 seconds, and then I'm just gonna get mad on the court and try and hit these crazy shots. He can still get that Nick Kyrgios, like, oh, I don't want to play anymore, and just tank and throw matches, but he hasn't done that in a long time. So, and he's basically reserving himself for clay court matches now, and some hard courts. So it's really fun. I really like watching Fabio Fognini come out. He's got a really solid gameplay. He plays mostly baseline with some drop shot and close range approach attempts. But he's a really fun Italian player to watch. So, also ranked 14 going into it, but he's playing against Andre something Kukushkin. I think it's Andre. First round could be interesting just because Kuku's been playing well. He's been getting into like second, third round matches in some of the majors recently, so it'll be interesting for Fognini, but I want to see Fognini go far, so I have Fognini taking it. Then you have another qualifier match, Martinez and Vukic, both qualifiers. Martinez's first name is Pedro, though. So I took Pedro Martinez to take it. They're also, I think, both... No, Vukic is not Spanish. He's the one, I think it's the Czech Republic, where it's got the... I think it's blue triangle and then a white top, red bottom. Or the blue and white are switched. I can't remember. But he's got that as his flag. Or maybe it's red triangle. Anyway, he's that. But he's playing against Pedro Martinez. And Pedro Martinez is Pedro Martinez. So Pedro Martinez is going to win. Then Korda, an American qualifier, is playing against Seppi. Andrea Seppi is Italian. And I was imagining someone very different last at the U.S. Open when I was talking about Seppi. So I'm going to try and think of the right person. But Seppi is a young... not who I thought it was, a young get-back style, like a Minaur, but doesn't quite have the toolbox that Minaur has. So I think while Seppi will take this one, I don't think he's going to get very far in the next couple matches. This one's a fun one, Benchetrit. That's French, Benchetrit. Benchetrit. I don't know how you say it. He's a wild card playing against John Isner, ranked 21. Isner should take it in the first round. But I don't really like John Isner that much, so I wouldn't be too upset if Benchetrit beats him. That being said, John Isner should win. Then Dan Evans against Kei Nishikori. This one was really hard for me because I love Kei Nishikori. He is such a fun player to watch. He has a great mentality, and he has a really fun respectable approach to the game. I don't know how else to say it. If you just watch him when he gets into deep, long matches where he isn't expected to win, that's where he pulls out some of his, not his better shots, because his better shots definitely come when he's ahead. He has some really solid, powerful shots that he doesn't hit until he's winning. But when he's behind and he's in a hole himself, he is a very creative player to watch. So while I do have Nishikori losing to Dan Evans, I want to be wrong. I really want Kei Nishikori to win that. But Dan Evans, yeah, ranked 32, really solid British player. Shouldn't be too hard for him, especially because Kei's been out for quite some time now. But yeah, I really want Kei Nishikori to prove me wrong here. Then you have Andujar against Travaglia. I think they're both Spanish, but I could be super wrong about that. But I have Travaglia taking it in the end. Another one where I'm pretty sure Andujar is the higher ranked. But I took Travaglia. Oh, man, and this was a fun one. I looked this one up for like 20 minutes. And I didn't write down anything other than a nice check mark, and I made the line under his name a lot darker. So that didn't ring any bells. Nope. So yeah, I have Travaglia taking it. Then this is a fun one. Mackie Mackenzie McDonald, is playing against something Diaz. He's a Canadian. You guessed it. So Diaz is a qualifier, and while he's not significantly lower than Mackenzie McDonald, Mackenzie McDonald just hasn't had, and this is the weirdest logic to go off to have someone win a match, but Mackenzie McDonald really hasn't had the best outcomes. Yeah, okay, that works. In the last few matches he's played, tournaments he's played, and he was a really promising young U.S. player, and so yeah, again, he hasn't had the best record in the past few tournaments, but I think that will kind of reignite the flame. I think this is around the point. It's either going to be right now or when the whole next season starts. He's going to have to wait for the Australian Open, and I think this is just the tournament to do it at. That's me. I really like clay, so I would make the push here. But that being said, it's all up to McDonald. I have McDonald taking it, but Diaz, this is your opportunity, man. You're a qualifier. You got to show that you earned it and why you earned it. Doesn't really matter, though, because the winner of that match plays against Gerasimov and Nadal. Whoever wins that, I'm pretty sure that Nadal's going to win that pretty easily, because Rafael Nadal is Rafael Nadal. It's clay. I don't know why he's ranked number 2. I get Djokovic has more points, but it's Roland Garros, where Rafael Nadal lives and breathes and absolutely destroys other players. That being said, Fabio Fognini is in Rafael Nadal's side of the draw, and this is why I'm so glad I did it this way. I can just do this now. Look at that. I also think that Fabio Fognini is Rafael Nadal's first real threat of a match. Like, just walking through it, he has Gerasimov, then he has the winner of Diaz McDonald, then he has the winner of, so that's the second day, then he has the winner of Andujar Travaglia against the winner of Evans Nishikori. Highest ranked player there is Dan Evans at 32. Kei Nishikori, I think, has beat Nadal on clay, but it was a 3-set match. And even that, as I say it out loud, I think I have that wrong. But, so those are the first 3 matches right there. First 3 matches. Then the 4th match, that's where it starts getting interesting. That's where you introduce Fognini. His 4th match is the first player that's ranked inside the 20, top 20. And honestly, even I don't think Dan Evans is going to make it that far. As much as I like Dan Evans and Nishikori, no, they'll make it that far. Yeah, either way. Nadal's first real challenge, Fabio Fognini. Then he immediately after he plays David Goffin. Like, as soon as he gets through his easy matches, he's immediately into the hard stuff. It's so exciting. But Nadal, yeah, should just walk through. I have him as my winner. Not too worried about that one. It really comes in the latter stages of the tournament where I think he might get disqualified, beaten. I couldn't imagine Nadal doing anything as dumb as Novak Djokovic, which, by the way, I didn't read the whole interview, but I saw that he said that he's moved on from what he did, which, again, I didn't read the interview, so I don't want to say anything too crazy, but unless he said, because I know he has apologized, quote unquote, but I feel like it was one of those, like, well, I wasn't looking apologies, you know, like, it wasn't my fault kind of thing. So I don't think he's actually apologized. But again, I haven't done any research into it because I don't really like Novak Djokovic. So, mildly biased opinion that I have not researched, but take that and run with it. Then Dominic Thiem, my other hopeful for winning it, which isn't true because he's in Rafael Nadal's bracket, so he's not going to, but, you know, another hopeful. Excuse me. He plays Cilic first, then he plays the winner of Riley, Opelka, and Jack Sock. And then he plays Casper Ruud is his only light match. Then he plays Wawrinka or Felix Auger-Aliassime. Then he goes in and starts playing against that I think would be Medvedev? No, sorry, that's the wrong side. Yeah. No. Oh my goodness. So yeah, after playing Cilic, Opelka, Sock, and then Ruud is the easy one. Yeah, then he goes into Auger-Aliassime, Diego Schwartzman, Taylor Fritz, Monfils. Then he jumps into Nadal, and then he goes to the final. So as much as I want Dominic Thiem to do well at this tournament, stars do not align well for him. That's just how much it sucks to be good at tennis. He's so good that he got put in Nadal's bracket. So yeah, poor Thiem. Then Novak Djokovic, he doesn't really have a challenge until Carreño Busta. I mean, he might see Khachanov. Yeah, I'll probably see Khachanov, actually. But I think Djokovic's experience will beat Khachanov, especially on clay. He's played Nadal enough on clay that I think he's just seen a different level more than Khachanov has, and he'll be able to beat him relatively easily. That being said, then he hits Carreño Busta right after, or Berrettini or someone. But I think it'll be Carreño Busta. At least in my draw, it's Carreño Busta. And that's going to be the matchup, you know? That's the one that Djokovic said he was going to win, and, I hit the ball the way. I think he's going to have a rematch against Carreño Busta, and Carreño Busta is going to show that why he was up. He had just broken 6-5, and why he was going to win that match. I think Carreño Busta is the better clay court player right now. Maybe not in their prime. Djokovic obviously is one of the best players of all time. But Carreño Busta is a young player, plays on clay a lot, and he has a really well-suited game for clay. Tough, spinny backhand, movable forehand that he can, it's versatile. He can hit it, it's so fun to describe. He can hit it from one spot on the court and hit many areas of the court. He's got a large, precise radius with his forehand and a dagger of a backhand. I think he's just going to be a really tough match, and I think Djokovic has... I think that's his... There's such a good word. Quintessential isn't it? But I think that's his, like, title match right there. against Carreño Busta. That's going to be his redemption. Isn't the right word, but it works. Chuck Palahniuk. Then, yeah, so I think that'll happen. I don't see Djokovic even in the semifinals. I think I have him in the quarters, losing to Carreño Busta. I think that's where it is. Yeah. Then the semifinalists, I have Carreño Busta against Daniil Medvedev and Dominic Thiem against Rafael Nadal. Shouldn't be too bad. As I actually read out some of these, I don't think Medvedev's going to go as far as I have him going, because I actually have him in the finals against Nadal. Man. But as I talk about Carreño Busta, no. It'll be Medvedev. Okay, so that's it. That's all, I think. Oh, yeah. I forgot to do a breakdown of the players. There are 4 Canadians: Shapovalov, Felix Auger-Aliassime, the D-Ace guy, I can't remember his first name, and Vasek Pospisil. Best shot at winning it is most likely Shapovalov, just because he's in Djokovic's... Nope, sorry. He's in a... What's his face? Tsitsipas's. That's the word. He's in Tsitsipas's draw. And that's the weakest bracket. There's Tsitsipas, the highest ranked, and then the next behind that is Shapo, I think. Yeah, then it's Shapovalov. Oh, and Medvedev. Sorry. That's why Shapovalov isn't making it to the semifinal. But Shapo has the best chance of winning for that reason. He's going to hit solid players, but no one crazy like a Nadal or a Thiem. So he has a lot of warm-up and practice on the clay to get used to it before he really hits a big challenge. That's why I think he has the best chance. He's not going to win, but he has the best chance. The U.S. has 13 players in. Not one of them has a shot, because Tennys Sandgren is the most opportunistic. Maybe Taylor Fritz, but he still has to go through Djokovic, who I don't think he has the experience or the optimism for. I just don't see Taylor Fritz being... It's hard to describe, because he is. He's really talented. He's a great young player, really level-headed, calm player to watch, but he's like Raonic. I think he lacks confidence in himself. I think he'll just get in his own head when he's not doing well and kill his own game. So he has a great draw along with Tennys Sandgren, but I don't think he's going to do much with it. And then, yeah, Stevie Johnson's in an okay spot. I think he's in the... Yeah, Stevie Johnson's also in the Tsitsipas draw. So he's in an okay spot to win it, but I still think the best chance at winning it is in Tennys Sandgren, and he's going to be out in the first round in my draw. But it's the French Open. Anything can happen. Clay is its own world, its own demon. The French have 18 players in, which is more than an eighth of the whole draw. So they statistically have the best chance of any nation winning. But the U.S. had the same chance. They actually had slightly less of a chance at the U.S. Open. They had 17 players, I believe. It's all the way over there. I don't want to get it. I think 0 of them have a chance of winning. Monfils obviously has the best chance. He's the title draw in the Dominic Thiem side, so he doesn't really see anyone too dangerous until basically Thiem. He sees Taylor Fritz pretty early, but Taylor Fritz, again, could get tired, could get into his own head, and playing against a name like Monfils, he could be a little shaken from the get-go, and Monfils could use that. But there's no crowd. Monfils feeds out the crowd, so I really don't see the French having a good shot. I'm sorry, Frenchmen. But it hasn't been your tournament since Nadal came in, so it really hasn't been your tournament. I'm trying to think of the last Frenchman to win it. I don't think, maybe Tsonga? Gasquet, I don't think has actually won it. I think he's only been in the finals. And as I say it out loud, I don't think Tsonga's won either. I think he's only won the U.S. or Australian. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So that is that. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah, so I kind of forgot to talk about. Oh my God, 1 hour? Fuck this. I can't put this up. Okay, whatever. Um, so, God damn, what is that? Yeah, whatever. I didn't talk about how Dominic Thiem won the U.S. Open because it was weird as hell. He was standing on cramping legs. They both were. Well, I mean, it was the weirdest final I've ever seen. But he was still rocking out 130-mile-an-hour serves with no legs. It was nuts, and with no legs. He obviously was using his legs. But if you watch, if you watch the whole tiebreak at the end, you're like, how the fuck is this kid moving? It was nuts. It was a very strange final to watch. But I'm more interested in the first round matches than I was in the final of the U.S. Open. So it's going to be really fun. Love the French Open. Good luck to everybody. And matches start in 2 hours now that I've been talking for an hour. This is going to be so fun to edit. Goodbye, everybody.